You've probably heard about the whole Joe Rogan controversy, so I'll spare you the details and put it simply. And basically, Joe Rogan has allegedly had some of his episodes on Spotify taken down because they were too controversial and too alt-right, and then a bunch of people made articles about it, and then other people made videos on those articles, and then Joe Rogan made a video about the videos that were on the articles saying that they're wrong. And now I'm here. Quite confusing, right? So, what does this mean for me and you? Is big TV taking over the world, forcing us to submit to its will and censoring opinions? Maybe. Maybe not. I'll lean on the side of not. But what's important here is to not get too polarized in our views and not make claims that we can't necessarily prove to be true 100% without evidence, and just see how it plays out. However, that doesn't mean that we should completely disregard the idea, because it is a concerning one, especially since nowadays YouTube, social media, Instagram is becoming more and more like TV, more and more ads and more increasing censorship and control of what we're seeing. Do that as you will, but some people would take that in a negative way, turning social media into something that is more like television, more or less the antithesis of what YouTube was. It's lost its soul, you could very well say. So it's not like they don't mean anything. If these videos are getting taken down for various reasons, political, social, or economic, that's not insignificant, and it doesn't mean nothing. But what does it mean? Well, I'll tell you one thing, it shows the power that big tech and social media companies have on our society. And maybe it means that we should consider alternative sources of revenue, move towards more paid services rather than free services, which come along with these things. Now, obviously, there are advantages and disadvantages to both sides. That's just one thing to consider. But why does it matter that it's Joe Rogan? Why this time? I'm sure these things have happened plenty of times before. But why does it matter now? Why is this so important? I'll give you two reasons. First of all, there aren't many people like Joe Rogan that have a platform as large as he does, that enable people to have a voice like he does. I don't see any other YouTube channels that have 10 million subscribers while also running a podcast. So the size comes into it, and the size of the platform comes into it. The second reason is that the thoughts and ideas that have been brought upon through Joe Rogan's podcast have been circulated and trickled through into mainstream media. Ideas that may not have the popularity and thought and attention had they not been featured on Joe Rogan podcast. Political candidates like Andrew Yang being featured on there certainly could have had a negative impact, even though he eventually dropped out, but that's not what matters. What matters is that it allows people to see ideas, thoughts, and content that they probably wouldn't have seen before. And that's what matters, because even if you don't like Joe Rogan with all his antics and divisive statements and actions, you can't deny the benefit that he brings by having such a wide variety of guests, because that's the thing, right? It's not as if he's selectively choosing people with some kind of agenda in mind, or at least I don't think that's likely. It's more so that the variety of people that he gets enable discussion and enable representation of various groups, and that's pretty important. So I'll leave you with that. I make videos like this every week, or at least I try, so stick around, subscribe, and like if you enjoy that. And I also started a podcast under Reviews for Views podcast. You can check that out. I'll link that below the like button. So yeah, thank you, and tune in next week.